Hello everyone, welcome back to the layout. Just want to do a little bit of a demo to show you guys how to do rock on your mountain. Um, there's several ways to do this, I'd be the first to admit, but this is how I do it, and believe it or not, I got this idea from the Colorado Model Railroad Museum. This is how they've made their mountains. First of all, you have your mountain here. What I do is I use cardboard strips to make my mountain forms. Then I cover that up with plaster cloth. I would do about maybe 2 or 3 layers of plaster cloth on top of that. Then get you one of these rock molds here. You can get these commercially or you can make your own. I don't know where I got this one from. Probably from a train show out of a box somewhere. But get your rock mold like this, and get you a basin like this, an old find that this aluminum foil baking pan works well because it's large enough for your rock mold to sit in it. Now I have rice in here only because it's what I had on hand, and what that does is it helps hold your rock mold in place. You can let that settle down in there, and that rice will help hold your sides in. But what I would recommend is use pinto beans. Pinto beans will work a lot better, and they're not as messy, and they won't stick to your rock mold. But I had rice only because it's what I had on hand, and I didn't feel like running down to the store just to fill this up with pinto beans. So anyhow, once you get your pan full of pinto beans, place your rock mold. Well, what you want to do with your rock mold is you want to spray the inside of your rock mold with tap water with a few drops of dish soap, and spray the inside of that. Then what that does, it acts as a releasing agent whenever you peel your rock mold off of your rock. But if you don't do that, your rock mold is going to stick to your plaster, and then it's just going to crumble and break, and then you have to start all over. So always remember to spray the inside of your rock mold with regular tap water with a few drops of dish soap. After you get that done, mix you up a batch of plaster. I have plaster Paris right here. But I recommend, if you're working on a permanent layout, I recommend that you use HydroCal. HydroCal works better and has more detail, but it is heavy. So if you're doing a permanent layout, HydroCal will work better. But if you're doing like a module layout, like for traveling layout, going to train shows and stuff, I'd recommend just use like plaster Paris, like what I have, or something lighter. I'm using plaster Paris for this permanent layout only because it's what I have on hand right now. So once you get your plaster mix up, you pour it into your rock mold, and I would let that sit for maybe about anywhere from 5 to 8 minutes. You don't want it to set too long. Just long enough to where it starts, like it's starting to set up, to where it's starting to just set up enough to where it's not going to run over out of your mold, but it will still be soft. So once you get that almost set in your rock mold, pick up your whole mold with your plaster in it, like this. Now, remember your plaster is still in here, so I'm doing this with one hand. But pick up rock mold like this, bring it over, and then just slap it on here like that. And then hold that on there for about 5 minutes. And then after 5 minutes, you can just let that rock mold sit on there and then walk away from it, and that will stick on there. I'd come back about 30, 45 minutes later, and you can never wait too long. The longer, the better. Because what I done was I took it off too early, and it just pulled everything right back off of it. But there again, I forgot. Before you slap that on there, spray your surface with regular tap water, and then get that wet. And then you put your rock mold on there with your plaster, and hold that on there for 5 minutes. Let that set. After 5 minutes, you can let go of it and walk away from it. Come back 30 minutes to 45 minutes later, and peel your rock mold off. Then what you have is this white rock right here. And then the reason why you want to put it on there before it fully sets is that it's soft enough to where it'll contour your mountain. So you can kind of see mine here. My rock mold, you can see the top of it here. My rock mold kind of curves like this. And that's because it was soft enough for it to bend around your mountainside. And then my next one is going to go up above it and so on and so forth. But you don't want to use the same mold on the same mountain. You want to, I would recommend you use at least 4 to 6 different molds in the same area, or else your eye will pick up a pattern if you use the same mold over and over again. But if you have to, you can take your mold. With this one here, it looks like a layered rock, so I wouldn't recommend doing it with this one, but you could just hold it upright like that, or flip it over the other way upside down, just to give it some variation. Hopefully this helps. Give it a try. Let me know how it works out in the comments. And one last thing, I'm going to go over it again. Take your rock mold, spray it with regular tap water and some dish soap. Then spray your surface with regular tap water. Mix up your plaster. Put your plaster in your mold. And then whenever that almost sets, but still soft, pick up your rock mold on your wet surface and hold it on there for 5 minutes. Wait for about 5 minutes and you can let go of it and walk away from it. Come back 30, 45 minutes later, then you can start pulling your rock mold away, and then that leaves you with your white rock. Let me know how you make out in the comments. Hopefully this helps, and I'd like to see y'all's progress. All right, that's all for now.